that all doesn't matter because this is game 3 of a best of 5 between EmpireHappy and EmpireKas. It is a TvT. I am SC2 England, and my amazing, brilliant, fantastic, legendary co-caster is Pewee.
Hello.
Hi Pewee. So we do have Kas in the middle right position as the blue Terran and Happy as the yellow Terran in the lower left position. The map is Antigua Shipyard. It is forced cross spawns and there's supply depots there as well. It's the GSL version. And
yep. As we can see them talking about it now.
yeah, they are talking in Russian, but apparently you can make out quite a lot of Russian and English.
Yeah. The thing is, because StarCraft is, of course, like it's a English game made by an English company, so like some of the words don't have translation, so they have to use the English cross only.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, because it's slang created by a game, and of course slang doesn't have correct translations. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know Kaz is Ukrainian. I'm pretty sure Happy is Ukrainian, but of course Ukraine was liberated from Russia like 20, 30 years ago. So there's a lot of mixed dialects from that country.
Yeah, that is true. Also tune into StarCraft for history and geography lessons.
Yeah, and Happy actually has his gas first. You can tell I have like a ridiculously good memory. But yeah, he opens gas first into a Rax now, whereas Kaz is just going for a Rax straight away. And there's no gas for him yet, so it looks like it could be a
one Rax command center, I reckon.
Yes.
Which will be different from Game 2. If you haven't watched Game 1 and 2 and you're watching on VODs, just go and watch them. They're incredible. Game 2 especially. I actually feel like a bit drained after casting Game 2.
Yeah.
it took it out of me, man. It took it out of me. It was intense.
These are exciting games, man. And like, I'm guessing most people don't get the opportunity to see Kaz and Happy play each other. Like, you just don't really see it. I've never seen it before.
No.
So it's like, it's not only great TvT, but there's like crazy mental games going on between these two players right now. And Kaz does... Sorry.
I was just going to say, it's pretty crazy because last week in Antec 18, we had TSL Revival versus TSL Highen. It's like mirror match of the same team.
Yeah. I wonder who will be next week. We need a PvP. Will it be like Mouse Mana v Mouse Hasselhoffs? It'd be sick.
We will see though, however, Happy has delayed this command center by picking off the SCV or damaging it severely. And that's actually about a 10-second delay, which is significant.
It is. That is, very important, actually.
Meanwhile, Happy trying to keep his SCV alive. It's not going to get away.
I missed most of that. I love little dodging like that, where you go through the smoke, lose vision, and then pop out another side. But yeah, we actually have
a starport.
We do, with a tech lab on it, which is obviously going to be Chase.
Meanwhile, Kas is getting a third command center because Kas loves this 3 command center build, doesn't he? He's just like, I'm going to build a barracks, and then I'm just going to build command centers for the rest of the game.
And with the amount of gas Happy has, wait, what? Happy only has enough for 1 Banshee, so he's only going to have 1 Banshee. Then he's going to swap him again. It looks like, because he's not mining gas. I thought
this is a peculiar build, but well, it's all
well
good.
Timed. And now he sends him back to gas. It's strange.
I feel like this is one of those like moments Idra always complains about, that like you only win because you did something wrong, like you didn't do a normal build, so you win. But it's actually genius when you're playing against a teammate. You like have to do things which aren't quite normal because otherwise they know what you're going to do.
Exactly. They're like, I don't want to know how many games they've probably played against each other, really.
It's probably scary.
It is. Like, if you look at Kaz, like, he's already at, like, 1,000 wins on ladder, and then, like, last season, EmpireHappy had 1,000 wins. And, like, each of them plays a massive amount. Kaz has, like, 6,000 wins or something on his account.
To be fair, how awesome would it be, though? Like, you're paid to play StarCraft.
That is very exciting. Like you can't really beat that, really. Like, it is stressful though. We do actually have 3 command centers from each player, but of course Happy's are both in production now, whereas Kaz's are both done with orbitals. So Kaz will definitely have a nice economic advantage here. The there's the Banshee coming in. Of course, Kaz with his
Has
sixth
Marines.
sense. Yep, and there is no cloak. Oh, I thought I heard cloak. Then I was like, what?
No,
No,
that must be
there's
like the world's saddest Banshee as well, though. Just like, I'm gonna kill. Oh,
Mm.
oh. And he's gonna go again, and he's gonna be like, no, no. But anyone who has played StarCraft Masters, the official Blizzard custom map, will know that you can indefinitely kite Marines with a Banshee.
You can, and if anyone wants to know why, it's because they move faster. The Banshees move faster, and they have further range. But the only thing you have to be careful of is the shooting like animation, because obviously the Banshee has to turn around because the Banshee only shoots straight. So you have to be very careful with that.
So out of all of the StarCraft Masters things, that Banshee against the Marines, it was the hardest one.
Did you have like I found out like you don't actually want to use like attack move when micro and Banshees you use hold,
Yeah.
so it can spin on its axis much faster than like otherwise it spins through the air while moving and it takes longer.
Yep.
So yeah, it's amazing. Like all different units need different types of unit controls and stuff like that. But this game is starting to heat up now. But of course, Kaz is 20 supply ahead, near enough.
He's also got his third floating down, but obviously Happy does have his own third finished. He's getting, well, there's tanks out already. There's 2 tanks out for Happy compared to 0 tanks for Cass. Does Cass even have his...
No,
he doesn't even have a tech lab on his factory yet. So
no, he has a reactor, but he's swapping the. It looks like he's just powering with the factory for the moment, but he'll probably add on the tech lab soon. But oh, and Kaz misses the landing point on the with the starport. Oh, see, look, guys.
that's the
if you
second time
were,
Cass has done it as well.
yeah, if you guys have worry about like you guys making mistakes, obviously everyone does it. Did you see that one on Reddit? It was Illusion playing. He was in like a team game. It was like Vile v I know like Quantic or IM or Slayers or something, and he done powering, lifted off like his factory and like floated it somewhere else to build up more add-ons, and then he accidentally built a fusion core in the reactor. Did you see that?
No.
And because originally it happened on like some guy posted on Reddit. He's like, "Oh look, I made a mistake." Some like noob guy, and he had like eBay on a tech lab, right? And he's like, "Oh look what I done." And then Illusion posted like a couple of days later. It's like, "Don't worry, I make the same mistake." And it was a fusion core on a reactor, and obviously like you can't float fusion cores, so that reactor was useless. Yeah, that was just funny.
Could you imagine how overpowered it'd be if you could put like a reactor on an engineering bay to get double upgrades?
Oh my god! Don't ever say that again, just in case Blizzard hear it.
And they're like, that would be genius.
That was. Oh my god, that would be.
Patch
be
1.5.
But we have loads of production down for each player. Like, there's not much going on at the moment, guys.
Cass is getting a 4th though.
He is.
Because if there's one thing we know, it's that Cass likes command centers.
Yes. They're just producing a lot of stuff, getting upgrades. Kaz is ahead by like 40 supply beds. We've seen in the first game where he had a massive supply lead. It
well,
doesn't
30 of that, 20 of that rather, is workers. So
yeah.
Which make it a lot less significant. There's also no tanks out for... Well, there's 1 tank out for Cass compared to 3, 4, 5 for Happy.
Just press units. It's one.
I know
tank
it's probably a lot quicker than just like looking around. I mean, like just counting out loud. But
I am more used to pressing it because I flip through all the different things. But like Kaz is going to be in a. He can't attack this. He can deny his opponent's state by going up onto the high ground, and of course Kaz has got his 4th nearly done, so he is going to be really far ahead economically soon.
And we will see Happy moving up with some Marines here. And we're getting back into another staple of the TvT matchup, which is the tank stalemate. Cass is now taking a 5th.
Oh my jeez.
So Cass's approach, just for anyone who wonders, is, well, if I build enough bases, it doesn't matter if I lose half of them because I'll still have more.
Yeah.
That's like pretty much his approach.
This is absurd.
Stefano did that in a game as well recently. I watched. He just like built hatches everywhere, and like the poor Terran player was trying to
Oh
like
my
kill
god,
him
Kaz has thrown down another 2 command centers as third. That takes him up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 14 minutes into the game. And he's still at max supply, that's the absurd thing. And he goes for a stim here, he's gonna run into the siege line, so he's gonna take a lot of damage, but he will kill a lot of the Marines from his opponent and be able to kill the...
He has got himself in a good position. He might be able to take out this third. He will force a lift on it. And that's going to delay the economy of Happy even more. And that's really what he needs to do.
And there's more medevacs for Kaz, so he's like in the 3 Marine v 3 Marine fight that would actually take forever. Kaz would win it.
It's just like never ending.
Yeah. And at this point he just traded a lot of Marines for economic damage for some gas.
But having
so
said that, look at how much Cass is ramping up his production. Like he's just he's just adding on more and more production facilities. He's gone Planetary Fortress.
Yeah.
Which well, it makes sense because these 2 in his third are going to be made into orbitals.
Yeah, that's safe. Like if you lose a planetary,
and we've got an engagement going on here, but they're better siege, therefore Happy, and he's going to clean that up nicely.
Yes.
Happy's probably feeling all proud of himself at the moment. Like
he picks up some Marines. He picks up some Marines and drops them on the tanks. So of course the tanks don't do any damage and they die.
Which is sad.
And now of course we have 2 Marines v 1 Marine.
But Cass is still ahead in supply. If we look at the worker count, it's now 73 to 56.
And he doesn't need to build anymore.
Cass has more Marines by nearly double, but only about a third of the amount of tanks. But they're equal on medevacs, so to be honest, that means Happy can defend better.
Yeah, pretty much. Cass is going to be cost efficient attacking, but he's mining more, so it's acceptable.
Although, having said that, Happy doing an amazing job with these tanks. Picked off all of Cass's, and Cass now has a bit of an issue trying to go around the side with these Marines, just straight up towards the third. Does get the stim, and he's going to be able to get up there, and this could be big. He could almost snipe that third base if he wanted to.
He does. If he targets this down straight away, he could do so much damage. And even in the meantime, there's not really any units at the naturals you could run that way. But he's taking too long, so he's just going to get some harvester counts. He is losing some medevacs,
which is less than ideal. But how many workers has he managed to kill? Only 9.
So that's not really cost efficient.
No, I mean in this engagement, I don't think it really matters because he's just got Cass has got so many bases and like command centers. He doesn't really need to worry about his opponent having 3.
Wait, no, sorry. I misread that. I thought Kaz was building another command center.
I don't think he needs any more.
No. That's why I was like, what? But he's actually mining like 2,000 minerals, 800 gas a minute.
Which is crazy. But he's still spending all of it. So
yeah, that's the more impressive thing. And like he's at one point he had like next to no money because he's just spending so much. But EmpireHappy's pushing up here.
He's pushing up here really heavily. He's just got so many tanks. And he can almost have bad engagements here. Because he's got so many tanks he can afford to lose quite a lot. And I mean really
look at the units lost. That says a lot.
Cass is just like, I don't need to engage efficiently.
Yeah, he's like, I have nearly the entire map. It's absurd.
I don't know why he hasn't taken the top left base.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't taken the rest of them. It's crazy.
He may as well, but he's now adding on a lot of starports and barracks and getting the 3-3 upgrades, or +3 rather, only +3 attack, no +3 armor yet. That's compared to Happy's 2-2 with no sign of anything else, but he does have +1 on the tanks. Both players have +1 on the tanks. And here we go, an engagement. No, that was really anticlimactic.
That was. We got Viking v2 Vikings, of course that goes in Kaz's favour. But yeah, the second he stims and runs into that siege line, his army would die so fast. It would be fairly painful.
And this is a good move actually by Happy, spreading out his tanks a lot more. But we have got a little engagement coming on over here. He's out of the tank line, pulling back. Some Marines get picked off by both sides. Cass does have the supply lead by about...
And Kaz also has the vision as well, because of course there's only one Viking for Kaz, but of course that gives him the air dominance to have the vision. Because if a lot of people don't know, a tank can shoot further.
And we've got good siege up here by Happy. He picks off a load of Marines there. That was in its sick amount.
That was insane. Look at all the blood.
I mean, the one thing which is, I'm going to switch over to Happy's vision. He has no clue how Command Center crazy.
Oh my god.
Kas
Now
is
Kaz is going for Ravens.
These two are amazing.
They are. Like, it is important to actually. Happy's still producing 3 tanks at a time. Kaz was producing 3 at a time. So he is slowly catching up. But still, it's actually 15 tanks v 11, so it's not much of a difference now.
3-3 is on the way here for Happy as well.
Oh, we have really nice stim, but the tanks do siege, and I don't really know what happens there. The Marines from Happy actually, there's
Pushing
not many
forward
tanks.
No, Cast has a lot more Marines, but a lot less tanks.
Yes.
And that's really what's causing the problem. And judging by this positioning of Happy, he's trying to leapfrog his way forward towards the main of Cass, and then he's going to elevate a trick up. And an elevated trick, for anyone who doesn't know, is you use the medevacs to basically lift up and drop on the high ground in the main enemy's base.
And he goes for Marines first. There is a missile turret there, so that was a bit bad that he didn't siege and take that out.
But to be honest, this is not a happy position for Cass to be in right now.
No.
And he has to really pick it off. He needs to be really, really careful though. Leaving the tanks on the low ground is a good choice.
Okay, he picks up five tanks. He moves to the high ground. Now would be a good time for Cass to try and stim in. But never mind now.
I mean, Cass is losing a lot of his production facilities though, which is the problem. Meanwhile though, of course, Happy, he's mined out at his main, and he's getting pretty low at his natural as well.
The thing is I don't like about this is like Kaz is minted at the moment. He's got so much money, he can lose his production and reproduce it easily. But if he hits max, which he nearly is, and just runs Happy, like Happy has to play the best game of his life to hold that off.
That's exactly what Cass is doing. He's like, well, I can kill you before you can kill me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's secretly Cass's strategy.
Maybe.
Just build command centers everywhere and then just base race.
And yeah, just hope for a base race. But now, of course, Happy is at max, and Kaz just lost a lot of supply.
Yeah, he has, and he's not going to be able to break this defensive line from Happy. Happy's got an amazing tank layout.
Yeah.
Like that's actually
if he takes out the Viking and the Marines, though, he can drop turrets on the tanks.
That is true. Meanwhile, we've got a Seeker missile going in. A Seeker missile. Oh, it goes off. One tank goes down. But you need to send more than one.
He just wants to get rid of the... There's only like 5 Marines and a single Viking.
And he's going to go again. He's going to try and do this, but that Viking is going to be so irritating. Another Seeker missile goes off again. Another Seeker missile right on the medevacs. And oh, look at all those tanks going to take out Cass. This is beautiful play. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a stalemate going on down by Happy's base, and Happy's going to sneak his army round the side of Cass's.
But he is walking to the tower, so Cass should see it fairly soon. Come on, Cass, you see it?
And he's going to pull back. He's going to pull back. And now this central base of Cass is looking very exposed. Meanwhile, there's just a couple of tanks inside of Cass's main base. Yeah. This game is just sick.
And once again, there's still... Well, when I said that, then they were identical supplies.
The key difference, though, is Cass does still have that 4th base.
Yes. And 2 extra command centers.
Left. Yeah, and 2 extra command centers. Orbital commands, rather.
Yeah.
He's also producing, whereas Happy is not producing anything. Or very little.
You know what? Happy has a huge bank as well.
You know, Happy has just like such a huge bank.
Also,
we're going to have a big engagement here, really big engagement, and Cass does get in there slightly before the siege, and Cass has got great Marines spread out, and he's picking off loads.
He just... That was I would say that was a fairly good trade for Cass, because he lost
Cass
Marines.
had a good engagement there, but the supply count is still favouring Happy. There was a planetary fortress up here, so that won't be able to do too much, and Cass needs to defend this base so badly.
Yep, there are 3 tanks coming up, so they will be able to siege and do damage. Happy is taking his 4th base and now throwing down a 5th command center.
So this base is going to get taken out now because, well, there's siege tanks there.
Yeah.
And that actually puts Cass in a really nasty spot because he's nearly mined out his 3rd. His natural is completely mined out, so he's really at about half a mining base.
And look at the supplies as well.
Now, this has actually really surprised me. I thought Cass was... plain sailing.
Pretty much, yeah. He had such a, look at the units lost, and I'll kind of tell you why. But
I know it's you can be only so inefficient.
yeah, and we have another drop going into the third of Kaz, and there's tanks and everything here, so this is going to be pretty interesting. Oh, the SCVs come off and they kill the tanks before the siege is
goes
done.
Down,
So
and the Marines are going to be able to clean up pretty much everything, but there's still one tank there for Happy.
Go on, Meals, kill it. There's like one tank v one tank.
And
And,
Happy's tank wins, but we will see that the SCV's drastically trying to kill it. But there was some big losses there by Cass. He's retaken the central base. But I think it's really starting to hurt Cass that he lost all of his mains production facilities.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And
He is still fully supplied down as well, which is so much.
But Happy has spent all of his bank now, and he's trying to take a fifth base, but there's one Marine there by Cass, who was told to stand there and stay there, and he thought it was the most useless assignment ever, but now it could just be the most important job of his life.
It is important to note as well, I feel like, if Kaz gets enough Ravens, that can change the tide of battle, because of course they are spellcasters.
Unless he loses them all.
Yeah, like that. Oh, no.
Loses literally all of them in one fell swoop. Now this fourth base is going to get picked off. The Marines are 3-3 for Happy and 3-2 for Cass. So that's again plus 2 tanks on both sides.
Yeah. So the tanks are even, definitely. Empire is still ahead. Happy is still ahead just a little bit. And he runs in with the Marines before this tank siege, and this could be... Oh, okay. That could have been a lot worse.
It could have been. But we will see that Cass has pulled all of his SCVs as well.
Yeah.
Cass is really on the last ropes. Stemming in with some Marines, going to try and get us around, and will manage to do so. The SCV is going in first to try and pick off as much as possible, but I think Happy's got this now.
Yeah. That, I don't know. That army from Cass just in the top half, just... I didn't even see that go, like, it was so fast.
Yeah.
It's ET supply V 140, so Happy's in a solid spot now.
And he's about to pick off all of the production for Cass.
Yeah.
And that's going to be pretty much it. And there's
Good
GG. So that was game 3.
It was.
So tune in for game 4. It's now 2-1 to Cass.